The colony of Viralia floated quietly among the stars. Its silver towers reflected the glow of distant suns, and the hum of machinery filled the air. People moved quickly through the wide corridors, carrying tools, supplies, and messages. Among them, a young human named Leo walked calmly, carrying a small toolbox. He was a maintenance worker, and his job was to make sure the colony ran smoothly. Leo enjoyed his work. He liked the feeling of fixing things, making machines work again, and helping people without anyone noticing. Today, he had a new task: to repair a broken energy hub near the observation deck. The hub powered the lights and systems for one of the colony's largest areas. As he walked toward it, he noticed something unusual near the glass walls that looked out into space. A small girl sat alone on the floor. She had her knees drawn to her chest, and her head was bowed. Her hair shone like silver in the light of the colony, and tears rolled down her cheeks. She seemed frightened and lost. Leo paused. He had seen children before in the colony, but this girl did not look like any ordinary child. She wore a uniform that sparkled with tiny lights, and a small emblem on her shoulder suggested she was someone important. Leo did not know who she was, but he knew one thing: she needed help. He took a careful step closer. "Hey," he said gently. "Are you okay?" The girl did not answer. Her sobs shook her small frame, and she buried her face deeper into her knees. Leo's heart tightened. He wanted to help her, but he did not know what to do. Then he remembered something from his childhood. On Earth, children sometimes laughed when they saw bubbles. It was simple, but it worked. Leo reached into his pocket and pulled out a small vial filled with a shiny, rainbow-colored liquid. He had kept it from a science experiment at the colony. With a small wand, he dipped it into the liquid and blew gently. A bubble floated from the wand, reflecting the stars outside. The bubble glimmered in colors of green, blue, and pink. The girl looked up. Her eyes widened, and she blinked at the floating sphere. Leo smiled. He blew another bubble, and then another. Soon, the small girl was reaching out her hands, trying to catch them. A soft laugh escaped her lips. Leo's smile grew. "See? They are magic bubbles. They can chase away sadness." The girl giggled again. She clapped her hands as the bubbles danced around her. Leo kept blowing more, making each bubble float slowly toward her. For a few moments, the room felt calm. The hum of the machinery seemed softer, and the lights reflected gently on the glass walls. After a while, the girl spoke, her voice small but clear. "Thank you." "You're welcome," Leo said. "What is your name?" I am Mina," she whispered. "Mina," Leo repeated. "That is a nice name." "I am Leo. Do you want me to stay here with you for a while?" Mina nodded. She let Leo sit beside her. Together, they watched the bubbles rise and drift near the ceiling. Leo asked her simple questions about what she liked, and she answered quietly. Slowly, her sobs stopped, replaced by soft laughter and curiosity. As they spent time together, Leo noticed that Mina's hands were small but delicate. She moved with careful grace, and every movement seemed careful and precise. He wondered if she was used to being alone a lot. "Do you have friends here in the colony?" he asked. Mina shook her head. "Not many," she admitted. People do not play with me." Leo frowned. "That is not fair. Everyone should have a friend. You can play with me. We can make bubbles, or we can walk in the gardens. There are flowers from Earth, and they smell very nice." Mina looked at him with a mixture of surprise and happiness. "Really?" she asked. "Yes," Leo said. "I will show you." For the next hour, Leo and Mina continued with the bubbles. He blew them in funny shapes, and she laughed at the way they floated and bounced. She tried blowing them herself, but they popped before she could make them rise. Leo guided her hands, showing her how to hold the wand gently. The more she practiced, the more she smiled. But they were not alone. From a distance, someone watched quietly. Queen Serena, the ruler of Viralaya, observed from a balcony above. She was not only the queen but also Mina's mother. She had been worried about her daughter for days. Mina had been sad, quiet, and withdrawn. Today, Serena had followed her secretly, curious about where she went. When she saw Leo blowing bubbles and making her daughter laugh, Serena's heart softened. She had never seen someone care for Mina in this simple, gentle way. The queen stayed hidden, watching how Mina's frown slowly turned into laughter. Leo noticed nothing of the queen. To him, Mina was a child who needed comfort, and that was all that mattered. He did not care about titles or wealth. He only wanted to make sure she felt safe and happy. After some time, Mina spoke again. "I wish every day could be like this," she said softly. Leo nodded. "Happiness is like bubbles. Sometimes it floats and sometimes it pops, but we can make more. We can always try to have happy moments." Mina smiled. For the first time in weeks, her eyes were bright, not clouded by sadness. She reached for Leo's hand and held it tightly. Leo felt warmth spread through him. He realized that helping someone like this, someone who had no one else, was the best feeling in the universe. As the day passed, Leo had to leave for his work in the energy hub. He packed his tools but promised Mina he would return the next day. "We can make more bubbles tomorrow," he said. Mina nodded, hugging him quickly. "Thank you, Leo," she said. Queen Serena watched quietly from above. She had seen everything. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. This human, this simple worker, had found a way to reach her daughter. He had no idea who he was helping, yet his kindness shone brighter than any crown or title. As Leo walked away, he felt a strange excitement. He did not know that the little girl he comforted would play an important role in the future. And he did not know that someone very powerful was watching him, silently measuring the courage and heart of a human who simply wanted to help. That night, as the stars shone over the colony of Viralaya, Mina fell asleep smiling, clutching the memory of bubbles that had chased away her sadness. And Leo, tired but happy, continued his work, unaware that his small act of kindness was the beginning of a story that would change the colony forever. The next morning, the colony of Viralaya was alive with activity. Workers moved quickly through the wide corridors, carrying tools, supplies, and reports. Robots rolled along the floors, cleaning and repairing systems automatically. The hum of machinery filled the air. Among all this, Leo walked toward the observation deck again. Today, he carried not only his toolbox but also a small bag of colorful bubble liquid. He was excited to see Mina. Mina waited near the glass wall, her silver hair shining under the morning lights. She clutched a small stuffed toy, a gift she had received for her birthday. When she saw Leo, her eyes lit up, and a smile spread across her face. "Leo," she said, running toward him. "You came." "Of course," Leo replied. "I promised I would. Today we can try some new bubbles." He pulled out the vial of rainbow liquid and dipped the wand carefully. Tiny spheres of rainbow light floated into the air. Mina reached for them with her small hands, laughing as they popped on her fingers. As the two of them played, Queen Serena stood silently on the balcony above. She had been awake since dawn, watching over the colony. Her robes shimmered in the soft light, and her expression was serious, yet her heart felt lighter seeing her daughter laugh. Mina's happiness was rare, and this human, who she did not know, seemed to have a natural way of making her daughter smile. Serena studied Leo carefully. He moved calmly, speaking gently to Mina, never forcing her to do anything. He seemed patient and kind, qualities Serena valued highly. She wondered how someone so ordinary could have such a strong effect on her daughter. Below, Mina tried to blow bubbles herself, but they floated only a few inches before popping. "They do not work very well," she said, frowning. Leo knelt beside her. "Here, let me show you a trick. You have to blow gently and move your hands slowly. Watch carefully." He demonstrated, and a large, shining bubble rose into the air. Mina's eyes widened. She tried again, copying his movements. Slowly, a bubble floated up and danced around them. Serena smiled quietly. Her daughter's laughter was music to her ears. She had spent years trying to teach Mina how to be strong, how to rule, how to behave like a princess, but laughter was something she could not teach. This human had found a way to do what she could not. "Leo," Mina said suddenly, "why are you so kind?" Leo thought for a moment. "I like to help people. I like to see them happy. Happiness is very important, especially in a place like this." Mina nodded slowly. "I like you. You make me feel safe." Leo smiled warmly. "And I like you. I want you to be happy, Mina." Queen Serena watched them, noticing the bond forming between her daughter and the human. She felt a mixture of curiosity and caution. Humans were unpredictable, but this one seemed different. He was brave in his work, gentle with her child, and full of compassion. Suddenly, Mina stopped and looked at the balcony. "Mama," she said softly. Queen Serena stepped back quickly, realizing she had been seen. She lowered her gaze and said nothing. Mina frowned, confused. She had seen a shadow on the balcony but could not make out who it was. Leo noticed her confusion. "Do not worry," he said gently. "Sometimes shadows move, and they can look like people. You are safe here with me." Mina nodded, but she could not shake the feeling that someone was watching them. She did not mention it, not wanting to spoil the happiness she felt. For the next hour, Leo and Mina continued with the bubbles. He taught her how to make them bigger, how to move them without popping them, and even how to let them float in patterns. Mina laughed and clapped her hands, delighted by every new trick. Above them, Queen Serena thought carefully. She had always believed that her daughter needed guidance, training, and protection. But watching Leo, she realized that there was another way to teach her child about life, through kindness, patience, and trust. Perhaps this human could show her daughter a part of life she had been missing. When Leo finally packed up his tools, Mina's smile faded slightly. "Will you come again tomorrow?" she asked. "Of course," Leo replied. "I will be back. We can make even more bubbles." Mina hugged him tightly. "Thank you, Leo," she whispered. Queen Serena watched quietly, feeling a strange sense of relief. Perhaps, she thought, this human was more than he appeared. Perhaps he could help her daughter grow in ways she could not. As the day went on, the colony faced its usual challenges. Machines needed repair, messages had to be delivered, and the daily routines of the citizens continued. But in a quiet corner near the observation deck, a small girl smiled for the first time in weeks, and a human boy's kindness left a lasting mark. Later, as the sun set beyond the silver towers, Mina sat in her room, thinking about Leo and the bubbles. She felt happier than she had in a long time. She knew that the human was different, and she looked forward to seeing him again. Queen Serena returned to her chambers. She considered the day carefully. Humans were fragile compared to her people, but their courage and kindness were remarkable. This young man had no power, no title, and no special training, yet he had reached her daughter in a way she could not. That was worth noticing. Outside the colony, stars twinkled in endless patterns, and the quiet hum of space surrounded Viralia. Inside, a bond was forming that could change the lives of a queen, her daughter, and a simple human who only wanted to help. That night, Mina fell asleep clutching her stuffed toy, dreaming of bubbles floating endlessly among the stars. She felt safe, happy, and excited for tomorrow. Leo, far below in the colony, worked late into the night, unaware of the quiet gaze of a queen who was beginning to trust him. And somewhere in the halls of Viralia, a story was beginning, a story of friendship, courage, and the gentle power of kindness that could change even the strongest hearts. The morning sun touched the silver towers of Viralia, casting soft reflections across the observation deck. Leo carried his toolbox and a fresh vial of bubble liquid, humming softly as he walked. Today, he felt excited. Mina had asked him to come early. She had learned new tricks with the bubbles yesterday and wanted to show him. When he arrived, Mina was already waiting. She held a small tray with tiny colored wands she had painted herself. "Look, Leo," she called. "I made these for you." Leo smiled warmly. "Thank you, Mina. They are beautiful." He knelt beside her and examined the wands. Each was painted with bright colors, and some had little stars glued to them. He could see the care she had taken. "You really like bubbles, don't you?" Mina asked, holding one of the wands carefully. "Yes," Leo said. "They are simple, but they can make people happy. And happiness is very important." Mina nodded. "I like that you care. Most people in the palace are always busy or serious. They do not laugh or play." Leo tilted his head. "Maybe they forgot how to be happy. But you do not have to forget. You can make your own happiness, even if others do not understand." Mina smiled softly. She had never thought of it that way. She had felt lonely in the palace, surrounded by servants, teachers, and guards. Everyone treated her with respect, but no one truly played with her. Now, with Leo, she felt free. As they played, bubbles floated gently through the air. Some were large and shimmered with rainbow colors. Mina giggled as she chased them, trying to catch each one before it popped. Leo laughed too, enjoying the simple joy of the moment. Above them, Queen Serena observed from her balcony. She had spent the morning studying reports about the colony's energy systems, but she could not take her eyes off the pair below. Her daughter's laughter filled a part of her heart that she had long thought empty. Serena noticed how Leo treated Mina. He spoke calmly, explained things patiently, and never forced her to do anything she did not want. He treated her as a person, not as a princess or a title. This made the queen curious. Perhaps humans had qualities her people often overlooked: patience, kindness, and courage that did not rely on power. "Mama," Mina said suddenly, pointing upward. "Why are you not with me?" Serena took a step back, hiding in the shadow of the balcony. I am watching from here," she said softly. "I need to make sure you are safe." Mina frowned. "But I am safe with Leo. He makes me happy." Serena felt a pang in her heart. She had always worried about keeping Mina safe, but now she realized safety alone was not enough. Happiness and trust were just as important. Quietly, she remained on the balcony, allowing the human to teach her daughter something she could not with orders or lessons. After some time, Leo noticed Mina's attention shift toward the distant stars. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. Mina sighed. "I wish I could travel to the stars. I want to see planets, moons, and strange creatures. But I cannot leave the palace." Leo smiled. "Someday, you might. The stars are waiting for those who are brave and curious. And who knows? Maybe you will find a way to explore without leaving what you love behind." Mina's eyes sparkled. "Do you think so?" "I know so," Leo replied. "And I will help you however I can." They continued playing until the afternoon. The bubbles floated higher, reflecting the colors of the colony and the stars outside. Mina grew bolder, trying new tricks, while Leo encouraged her every step. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the observation deck. Red lights flashed, and a message appeared on the colony screens: minor energy disturbance detected in Sector 7. Leo stood quickly. I need to check the energy hub. Stay here, Mina. I will be back soon. Mina nodded, but her eyes were filled with concern. Be careful, she said softly. I will, Leo assured her. Nothing will happen to you. As Leo ran toward the energy hub, Queen Serena followed silently. She needed to ensure the colony was safe, but she also wanted to observe the human's reaction to a real problem. She had seen his kindness, but could he act with courage under pressure? Leo reached the energy hub and found the disturbance. One of the power conduits was overheating. Sparks flew, and the hum of machinery became a sharp, high-pitched whine. He quickly analyzed the situation. The conduit needed a manual reset, and if he did not act fast, the energy could shut down, affecting the entire sector. Leo did not hesitate. He opened the conduit panel and carefully adjusted the settings. Sparks flew dangerously close, but he remained focused. After several tense moments, the system stabilized. The lights returned to normal, and the alarm stopped. Back on the observation deck, Mina watched anxiously. When she saw the lights return to normal, she clapped her hands. You did it, Leo, she said, her voice full of admiration. Queen Serena watched as well. She felt a deep respect for the human who had risked himself to protect the colony. He had no rank, no weapon, no formal training in leadership, yet he acted with courage and intelligence. Later, Leo returned to Mina, smiling but slightly tired. Everything is fine, he said. The problem is fixed. Mina ran to him and hugged him tightly. You are amazing, Leo, she whispered. Leo laughed softly. I just did what anyone would do. But thank you. That means a lot. Serena remained hidden, thinking carefully. She had watched her daughter laugh, learn, and grow. She had seen the human act with bravery and calm. Perhaps he was someone the colony, and especially her daughter, needed. As the sun set, casting warm reflections across the silver towers, Leo and Mina sat together once more. They blew bubbles in the fading light, sharing laughter and stories. Mina spoke of her dreams, and Leo encouraged her with gentle words. The day ended with hope and warmth. A fragile friendship had formed between a human and a princess. It was a friendship built on kindness, trust, and shared moments of joy. And above them, quietly observing, a queen began to understand that sometimes the strongest lessons in life came not from rules or power, but from the courage of simple acts of care and the bonds of friendship. That night, Mina fell asleep smiling, dreaming of bubbles floating endlessly among the stars. Leo returned to his quarters, reflecting on the day. He did not know the full importance of the friendship he had begun, but he felt that something meaningful had started. In the halls of Viralia, a story continued to grow, a story of trust, courage, and the gentle power of kindness that could change even the strongest hearts. The colony of Viralia had always been peaceful. Its silver towers gleamed under the soft light of distant stars, and the hum of machines filled the air. People moved through the corridors with steady purpose, unaware that danger was approaching. Leo was at the energy hub, checking the systems after yesterday's minor disturbance. He wanted to make sure everything was stable. His hands moved skillfully over the panels, adjusting settings and inspecting circuits. The hum of the machinery was comforting, almost like a friend. Suddenly, an alert flashed on the main screen: unknown fleet approaching the outer perimeter. Potential threat detected. Red lights blinked, and the automated system sounded a warning. Leo's heart raced. He had never dealt with a real threat before, but he knew he had to act quickly. He ran toward the central command room, where Queen Serena and her advisors were already gathering. The queen looked at him with a serious expression. Leo, she said, her voice calm but firm. We need all available hands. The colony may be in danger. Leo nodded. I will do whatever I can to help. He did not hesitate. He had never imagined he would face an alien threat, yet he felt ready to protect the people he had come to care about. Outside, near the observation deck, Mina watched with wide eyes. The red alerts lit the glass walls, and alarms echoed through the corridors. She wanted to run to Leo, but a guard gently held her back. Stay here, princess, the guard said. It is too dangerous outside. Mina nodded, but her small hands trembled. She felt worried for Leo and for the colony. She wished she could do something to help. Leo entered the command room. Panels flashed with warnings, and the holographic map showed the approaching fleet, sleek, dark ships moving quickly toward Virilia. The advisors spoke rapidly, giving commands and analyzing data. But Leo noticed one critical detail that others had overlooked. One of the energy conduits on the outer perimeter was not fully powered. If the ships attacked that sector, the shield could fail. I can stabilize the conduit, Leo said, pointing at the display. It will take me through the maintenance tunnels, but I can get there quickly. Queen Serena looked at him carefully. It is dangerous. Are you sure you can do it? Leo nodded firmly. I have to try. The colony depends on it. Serena studied him for a moment. She had seen his kindness, his patience, and his courage. Perhaps this human, ordinary as he seemed, had the strength to do what others could not. She gave a small nod. Go. Protect the colony, Leo. Leo ran through the corridors toward the maintenance tunnels. Sparks from broken panels lit the way, and the hum of the machinery grew louder as he moved deeper. His heart pounded, but he stayed focused. Every second counted. Meanwhile, Mina watched from her safe location. She could see Leo running through the corridors, and her worry grew. She wanted to help, but she knew she had to stay where she was. She clutched her small hands together and whispered a silent prayer for his safety. Leo reached the outer perimeter and found the conduit. Sparks flew dangerously close, but he ignored the fear building in his chest. Carefully, he adjusted the panels and rerouted the energy. The shield system flickered for a moment but then stabilized. The colony's defenses were ready. As he worked, one of the ships fired a beam at the outer wall. The shield shimmered under the impact, but it held strong. Leo's quick thinking had saved the colony from immediate damage. He took a deep breath, realizing how close the colony had come to danger. Back in the command room, Queen Serena watched the shield's status. She felt relief, but also admiration. This human, who had no formal training in combat or strategy, had acted with bravery and intelligence. She could see why her daughter admired him so much. After securing the conduit, Leo made his way back through the tunnels. The colony was on alert, but the immediate danger had passed. When he returned to the command room, he was greeted with nods of respect and gratitude. Even the advisors, who had been skeptical of his abilities, looked at him with newfound respect. Queen Serena stepped forward. Leo, she said, her voice calm but filled with appreciation. You have saved many lives today. Your courage and quick thinking have protected this colony. Thank you. Leo shook his head. I only did what I could. I could not let anyone get hurt. Mina, watching from her safe room, clapped her hands when she heard the news. She felt proud of Leo. He had faced danger without hesitation, just as he had promised he would protect those who needed him. Later that evening, the colony returned to a cautious calm. Workers repaired minor damage, and guards patrolled the perimeter more carefully. Leo returned to the observation deck, exhausted but relieved. Mina ran to him, hugging his arm tightly. You are amazing, Leo, she said. You saved everyone. Leo smiled, ruffling her hair gently. I just did what anyone would do. But I am glad you are safe, Mina. Queen Serena watched from a distance, thinking about what she had seen. Humans were fragile compared to her people, but their courage, intelligence, and willingness to risk themselves for others were remarkable. Perhaps it was not titles or power that made someone strong, but their heart and their choices. As the stars shone brightly over Viralaya that night, Mina and Leo shared a quiet moment of relief. The danger had passed, and the colony was safe for now. But both of them knew that the universe held many unknown threats. They had faced one together, and the bond between them had grown stronger. Leo sat with Mina, blowing small bubbles into the night air. They floated gently, shimmering under the lights of the colony. Mina laughed softly, feeling hope and happiness for the first time in a long while. And Queen Serena, observing silently, felt a quiet sense of trust. She had seen her daughter laugh, she had seen courage in action, and she knew that the human before her was more than ordinary. In the quiet hum of the colony, a story continued, a story of friendship, bravery, and the gentle power of kindness that could protect even the strongest walls. The next morning, the colony of Viralaya was unusually quiet. Workers moved carefully through the corridors, checking systems and repairing minor damage from the previous day's threat. Leo was at the observation deck, gathering his tools and preparing to visit Mina. Today, however, he sensed that something was different. The air was tense, and the usual hum of the colony had a sharp undertone. Mina waited near the glass wall, holding her small tray of bubble wands. Her eyes sparkled when she saw Leo. "Leo, come quickly," she called. "I want to show you a new bubble trick." Leo smiled and knelt beside her. He had promised to teach her all the tricks he knew. "Show me, Mina," he said. She dipped a wand into the rainbow-colored liquid and blew gently. A cluster of small bubbles floated upward, forming a loose spiral. Leo clapped his hands. "That is amazing. You are learning fast." Mina beamed, but her excitement was cut short. A loud alarm echoed through the colony, shaking the walls. Red lights flashed on the observation deck. A voice from the intercom spoke urgently, "Alert! Alien scouts detected near the outer perimeter. All personnel take precautions." Mina's face paled. She knew the previous day had been dangerous, and fear returned. "Leo, what is happening?" she whispered. Leo took her small hands in his. "It is okay, Mina. Stay calm. I will check the situation and make sure you are safe." He ran toward the central command room. The colony's advisors were already analyzing the incoming scouts on the holographic display. Queen Serena stood at the front, her face serious but composed. She looked at Leo and nodded. "We need you again," she said. "There is an unmonitored conduit at the southern wall. If the scouts find it, the shield could fail." Leo did not hesitate. "I will go," he said firmly. "Show me the fastest route." Serena pointed to a series of maintenance tunnels that led to the southern wall. "It is dangerous," she warned. "But I trust you can do it." Leo sprinted through the tunnels, his heart racing. Sparks from faulty panels lit the way, and the hum of the machinery echoed around him. He could feel the colony's fate pressing on his shoulders, but he focused on the task ahead. When he reached the southern wall, he saw the conduit. It glowed faintly, indicating instability. He quickly analyzed the situation. The panel needed a manual override to stabilize the shield. As he worked, he heard the distant hum of the alien scouts approaching. His hands moved quickly and carefully. Suddenly, a spark jumped from the conduit, brushing against his arm. Pain shot through him, but he gritted his teeth and continued. Minutes felt like hours, but he refused to stop. With a final adjustment, the conduit stabilized, and the shield strengthened. The scout's approach triggered the outer sensors, but the shield held firm. Back at the observation deck, Mina watched the red lights flicker with fear. She could not see Leo, but she felt his presence in her heart. "Be safe, Leo," she whispered, clutching her small tray of bubble wands. Queen Serena observed silently from the balcony. She had seen her daughter trust this human, even in danger. She felt pride and relief. Leo was not just kind, he was brave. He risked his life to protect the colony, and he did so without hesitation. As the scouts attempted to breach the outer perimeter, Leo returned to the command room. The shields held, but the colony was still under threat. Advisors gave rapid orders, moving troops and reinforcing defenses. Leo, though exhausted, stood ready. He could see the holographic display showing the positions of the scouts. "Leo," Serena said, "we need someone to lead the repair teams to ensure all conduits remain stable. You are the fastest and most capable." Leo nodded. "I will do it." He moved through the corridors, guiding repair teams, showing them where to reinforce panels, and checking conduits himself. His courage inspired the workers. They moved faster, worked carefully, and trusted his decisions. Mina watched from the observation deck as Leo directed the teams. Her small heart swelled with pride. "He is amazing," she whispered. "He is like a hero from the stories." Hours passed, and the colony gradually stabilized. The scouts retreated after realizing they could not penetrate the shields. Leo returned to the observation deck, tired but relieved. Mina ran to him and hugged his arm tightly. "You did it, Leo," she exclaimed. "You saved the colony again." Leo laughed softly, ruffling her hair. "I could not have done it without the teams. Everyone helped. But yes, we are safe." Queen Serena stepped forward, her expression softer than before. "Leo," she said, "you have shown courage, intelligence, and leadership beyond your rank. You have protected this colony and my daughter. For that, I thank you." Leo shook his head. "I only did what I had to do. I could not let anyone get hurt." Mina looked up at the Queen. "Mama, Leo is the best friend ever. He teaches me, protects me, and he is always kind." Serena studied the human carefully. She realized that strength was not only about power or rank. True strength came from the heart, from the ability to act with kindness, courage, and intelligence. Leo had all of these qualities. That night, the colony returned to a cautious calm. Workers repaired minor damages, and the shields remained fully functional. Leo and Mina returned to the observation deck, blowing bubbles into the soft glow of the lights. "Do you think there will be more trouble?" Mina asked, watching the bubbles rise. Leo shook his head. "We cannot know. But we can always do our best to be ready. And we can stay brave together." Mina smiled, her eyes reflecting the shimmering bubbles. "I like that. Being brave is better with a friend." Queen Serena watched from her balcony, feeling a quiet sense of hope. She had seen kindness, bravery, and leadership in action. She realized that sometimes the smallest human could make the biggest difference. As stars twinkled above Viralia, the colony slept safely, unaware of the dangers that had passed. And Leo, alongside Mina, continued to show that courage, friendship, and simple acts of care could protect even the strongest walls and the most fragile hearts. The colony of Viralia was calm the next morning. The sun's soft light reflected off the silver towers, and the hum of the machinery created a gentle rhythm. Workers moved quickly but carefully, making sure all systems were stable after the recent threats. The air still held tension from the previous days, but there was hope and relief as well. Leo was at the observation deck, cleaning his tools and preparing the bubble liquid for Mina. Today felt different. He had faced danger and helped protect the colony, but he had no idea how much his actions had been noticed. Mina ran toward him, her silver hair shining in the morning light. "Leo, come. I made something new." She held a small, sparkling bubble wand she had painted herself. Leo smiled. "Show me, Mina." He knelt beside her, ready to see her new trick. She dipped the wand into the liquid and blew gently. A giant bubble floated upward, reflecting the colony's towers and the stars beyond. Leo clapped his hands. "You did it? That is amazing," he said. Mina laughed, delighted by her success. She looked up and noticed a shadow above them on the balcony. Her eyes widened. "Mama," she whispered. Queen Serena stepped forward, no longer hiding. She had watched her daughter and Leo for many days, seeing their bond grow and the humans' courage during the attacks. Today, she decided it was time to meet him properly. "Mina, this is Leo," Serena said softly. "I wanted to thank him in person." Mina's face lit up. "Mama. This is the human I told you about? He is amazing." Leo looked up at the queen, his heart racing. He had only ever seen her from a distance, and now he stood before her, the ruler of Viralia. He bowed slightly. "Your Majesty, it is an honor to meet you." Serena studied him carefully. She saw no fear in his eyes, only respect and honesty. She nodded. "You have done more than I expected. You have protected my daughter and this colony. Your courage and kindness are remarkable." Leo shook his head humbly. "I only did what I had to do. Mina needed help, and the colony needed protection. I could not let anyone be harmed." Serena smiled faintly. "Many have titles, training, and weapons, yet they do not act with the heart you have shown. You are more than your rank or occupation, Leo. You have proven that bravery comes from choices, not power." Mina hugged Leo tightly. "See, Mama. I told you he is special." Serena's eyes softened as she looked at her daughter. She realized that Leo's presence had given Mina something she had not had in a long time: trust, joy, and friendship that was not based on orders or rules. She felt grateful for this human who had shown her daughter how to be free and happy. Leo glanced at Mina, then back at the queen. "I am happy to help. Mina is very brave too. She is the one who inspires me to do my best." Serena felt a sense of relief and admiration. Courage and kindness were rare qualities, and she had seen them in Leo. She decided that his role in the colony could be more than just a maintenance worker. He could be a symbol of hope and a guide for others. "Mina, you have a brave friend," Serena said softly. "And Leo, you have shown that even the simplest actions can change lives. I want to honor your courage and your heart." Leo's face turned slightly red. "Your Majesty, I am not used to recognition. I only do what I believe is right." "That is why your actions are so powerful," Serena replied. "You have risked yourself not for reward, but for others. That is true strength." Mina beamed at Leo. "See, Mama. He is always thinking of others first. That is why I trust him." Serena nodded, feeling a quiet pride. She realized that sometimes the most important lessons came from those without titles, from those who acted from the heart. Leo had taught her daughter joy, courage, and trust in a way she could not. "Leo," she continued, "I would like you to help the colony in a more official way. Your courage and intelligence can inspire others. I will create a special position for you in the Colony Council. You will guide teams, assist with strategies, and continue teaching lessons of kindness and bravery to those who need it." Leo's eyes widened. "Your Majesty, I do not know what to say. I am just a maintenance worker." "You are more than that," Serena said firmly. "Actions define a person, not titles. Today, you have shown what it means to be brave and kind. That is why you are worthy of this role." Mina jumped with excitement. "Yes. You will be with us, Leo. You will teach everyone how to be brave." Leo smiled at her, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "I will do my best, Mina. I promise." Serena studied him one last time. She felt that she could trust him completely. Not just for her daughter, but for the colony as a whole. Leo had shown that even a human without power could make a difference, and she wanted his example to inspire others. As the day continued, Leo and Mina spent time together on the observation deck, blowing bubbles and laughing. But now, Leo felt a new sense of responsibility. He was no longer just helping a friend, he was part of the colony's leadership, a symbol of courage and kindness for everyone. Queen Serena watched from her balcony, a quiet smile on her face. She had seen bravery, intelligence, and selflessness in action. She had seen the bond between a human and her daughter grow stronger every day. And she knew that this bond, built on trust and kindness, could shape the future of Viralia in ways no rule or law ever could. That night, Mina slept peacefully, hugging her stuffed toy and dreaming of bubbles and stars. Leo returned to his quarters, thinking about the day and the responsibilities ahead. He knew challenges would come, but he felt ready to face them, inspired by the trust of a queen, the laughter of a child, and the quiet strength within himself. And in the quiet hum of the colony, a new story was unfolding, a story of recognition, respect, and the gentle power of courage and kindness that could change lives and inspire a whole world. The morning sun rose over Viralia, casting a golden glow across the silver towers. The colony was alive with activity, but there was a calmness in the air. The recent threats had passed, and the citizens moved with confidence, trusting the strength and leadership that had protected them. Leo carried his tools toward the observation deck, where Mina was waiting excitedly. Today, there would be no alarms, no sudden dangers, only laughter, learning, and the joy of simple moments together. Leo. Mina called, running toward him. I have a new bubble idea. We can make bubbles that look like stars. Leo smiled warmly. Show me, Mina. I am ready. She dipped the wand into the rainbow-colored liquid and blew gently. Tiny bubbles floated upward, glimmering like miniature stars. Leo clapped his hands. That is amazing. You are getting better every day. Mina laughed, chasing the sparkling spheres as they rose toward the ceiling. Her silver hair shimmered in the light, and her joy was infectious. Leo felt happy to see her laugh freely, knowing that she could trust him and feel safe. Queen Serena watched from the balcony, a soft smile on her face. Today, she would officially honor Leo in front of the colony. He had risked his life, helped protect the citizens, and shown the true power of kindness and courage. She wanted everyone to see that titles were not the only measure of strength. When Leo finished helping Mina with the bubbles, Serena called him to the center of the observation deck. Workers, advisors, and other citizens gathered quietly, curious about the announcement. Mina ran to stand beside Leo, holding his hand. Leo, Serena began, her voice calm but strong, you have shown courage, kindness, and intelligence beyond measure. You have protected my daughter, defended this colony, and inspired everyone around you. For that, I honor you today. The crowd cheered softly, clapping their hands in respect. Leo felt his face warm with humility. Your Majesty, I do not know what to say, he said. I only did what I thought was right. That is exactly why your actions are remarkable, Serena replied. You did not act for recognition or reward. You acted because it was the right thing to do. That is true strength. Mina hugged Leo tightly. See? I told you, Mama. Leo is amazing. The queen's eyes softened as she looked at her daughter. She realized that happiness, trust, and friendship were as important as safety and rules. Leo had given Mina a gift she could not have received from anyone else, the freedom to laugh, to play, and to feel safe. Serena turned to the gathered citizens. Let this day remind us all that courage and kindness can come from anyone, no matter their rank or title. Leo has proven this. Today, we honor him not only for what he has done but for the example he sets for all of us. The crowd cheered louder, and Leo felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had never imagined that his small acts of care could lead to such recognition. But he knew that it was not the praise that mattered. It was the bond he had formed with Mina and the trust he had earned from the Queen. After the ceremony, Leo and Mina returned to their corner of the observation deck. They blew bubbles together, creating shapes and patterns, laughing as the sparkling spheres floated among the towers and lights of the colony. "Leo," Mina said softly, "I am glad you are here. You make me feel brave, happy, and safe." Leo smiled. "And you inspire me, Mina. You remind me that even small acts of joy can be powerful. Your laughter makes a difference." Serena watched quietly from a distance. She felt a deep sense of relief and hope. The human had not only protected the colony but had also taught her daughter lessons that no formal training could provide. Trust, friendship, and courage were just as important as rules and strength. As the day continued, Leo was given his new role officially. He guided repair teams, assisted with strategies for colony safety, and shared lessons about kindness and bravery with those who needed encouragement. Workers followed his advice, inspired by his courage and patience. Even those who had doubted him before now respected his guidance. Mina stayed close to him, helping wherever she could, learning about machines, teamwork, and small acts of care. She was no longer a lonely princess confined by rules. With Leo by her side, she had freedom, happiness, and confidence. That evening, the sky above Viralia glowed with the colors of distant stars. Leo and Mina stood together on the observation deck, watching the bubbles float gently into the night. Each bubble reflected the towers, the stars, and the soft lights of the colony. "Do you think we can make a bubble big enough to reach the stars?" Mina asked, her eyes sparkling. Leo laughed softly. "Maybe not reach the stars, but we can make them look like stars. And that is almost the same." Mina smiled, holding his hand. She felt safe, happy, and inspired by the human who had changed her life. She knew that their friendship would last for a long time. Queen Serena joined them quietly, placing a hand gently on Mina's shoulder. "Leo has proven that courage, kindness, and care can shape our world," she said. "And that is a lesson we should never forget." Leo bowed slightly. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I will continue to do my best for the colony and for Mina." The Queen smiled. "And that is why you belong here, not just as a helper, but as a friend and guide for all of us." As the night settled over the colony, Leo, Mina, and Queen Serena stood together, watching the stars. The colony was safe, and the bonds of trust, friendship, and courage had been strengthened. The story of a simple human who blew bubbles to calm a child had grown into a tale of bravery, recognition, and inspiration. It reminded everyone in Viralia that even small acts of kindness could change lives, protect the innocent, and build bonds stronger than any title or power. Mina hugged Leo tightly one last time before she returned to her room. "Thank you for everything, Leo. You are my hero." Leo smiled, feeling warmth and pride. "And you are mine, Mina. Always remember that courage and kindness can make a difference, no matter who you are." Queen Serena watched them both, her heart full. She knew that Viralia had gained more than protection from danger. It had gained hope, friendship, and the example of a human who had shown that true strength came from the heart. And as the stars shone brightly above, the colony slept peacefully, carrying with it the story of Leo, Mina, and the gentle power of kindness, courage, and friendship that could change worlds.